Mr. Barrowman covering assignment 7.4.2, Sexual Dimorphism. This assignment should take you at most 45 minutes, and it's pretty interesting when we talk about sexual dimorphism in animal species, because sometimes there are really big differences. Now, what amazes me is that sometimes I've noticed when I teach, I can have a lesson about something and talk about sexual dimorphism, but let's just make sure that we understand what that means. So I give a little definition in here. So let's focus on that, because if we don't understand the title of the lesson, we're going to have a lot more trouble filling it all out. So, did you know that male and female condors look exactly the same? But in most species, there are different structural traits in males than in the females. When there is a difference in the traits of males and females, we call that sexual dimorphism. This lesson will investigate how animals use these differences to ensure successful reproduction. So, California condors, because the male and female looks exactly the same, you would say that there is no sexual dimorphism. You would look at them and you'd be like, I don't know if that's a boy or a girl. No sexual dimorphism. Humans, for example, are slightly sexual dimorphic. Men tend to be taller than women. They tend to be heavier, larger in general. In something like most spider species, we'll say a tarantula, it's actually the females that are bigger than the males there. So any species that has a difference between how the males and females look, so their traits, that's sexually dimorphic. I just wanted to emphasize that first of all. Okay, so for this one, we're going to need to open up a couple of links. One for this slideshow presentation, and then one more for the assignment. Okay. Step number 3. Look at each slide showing both females and males of a particular species. See if you can identify which is the male and which is the female. So we're kind of guessing. Note that the name of the organism is listed in the note section under each slide. You can't be in presentation mode to see that one, so just so you know. Okay, so let's look at it really quick. I'm not going to click the present button because I don't want it to get rid of this little tiny comment section down here. So the first one, and it's hard to see, is elk. So somewhere in here there is a male and a female, and maybe there's more males than females, or maybe there's more females than males, but we're just guessing which one would be male and which one would be female. And how would you describe the difference between the two? The next slide. This is the African bullfrog, a male and a female here. So obviously you would describe it with, you would say the bigger one is, and then you do your guess, either male or female. And the smaller one would be the other one that you did not choose. This right here is the bighorn sheep. Do we see a difference here? I do, but look closely at the differences between the ones that are there. These are called mandrills. All of them should have been this large. We can see the name pretty clearly. So that's what you're going to do as you go through here. Slide number 1, you would just go back to slide 1, and you'd say, well, I know that this one here has these big horns, and then this one has no horns. So I'm going to say the one with horns is, and I would just type that in right here. So you're going to do that for all 16. And write down some questions that you have. After you're done with that, sorry, just looking through here. So we've got all these. So after you're done with that, you have some questions, and I want you to pick any one of the above animals and conduct some research online. So maybe you want to find out, maybe you want to really prove, like, which one am I so interested in? And then you can do that. You can find out, oh yeah, the male really is the one that has, and then you can just use your descriptive language there. And I want you to write a 1 to 3 paragraph explanation. You can describe the difference between the males and the females, but I want you to focus on why there are differences between the males and the females. Why do human men, for example, why are we taller? Why are we heavier? What role does that have to play in nature? For a spider, why would a female spider be the one that's larger? How would that help that organism? So you're trying to kind of get to those questions of why, and you're going to try to explain why there is sexual dimorphism in any one of the 16 organisms that I showed you here. And that is it for today. When you finish that up, go ahead and click submit here, and that's all. Please message me on Google Hangouts if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.